Okay, everything's on.
Did they ever pull a permit for their house? This was COVID. You were in Roseland before you, I think. It was a leave a law standing, let's build a new house situation. It was during COVID, they were all laying off, so like, let's build a house.
Well, we'll call to order. It's 7:32. Please stand for the pledge of the flag. George Bush. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord, we ask that you guide us tonight in our decisions for the township to best help the interest of the people of Osnaburg Township. We ask that you all know our employees go out on their duties, that you keep them safe, and we ask that you give us more than one day of dry weather for a while. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Agenda, anybody have anything to add?
I do not.
Yeah, I do not either.
None. Next, we'll move to the meeting minutes from 4/22/24.
Trustee Griffith moves to accept the minutes as presented.
Trustee Varian, second.
All those in favor, aye.
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 Opposed?
Thank you.
Next, we'll move to the treasurer's report, 4/23/24 to 5/13/24.
Trustee Varian moves to accept the treasurer's report as presented.
Trustee Griffith seconds.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Next, we'll move to public speaks, and Phil Redlock from the Stark County Health Department was supposed to be here just to give us an update tonight, but he had to reschedule, so he's coming back on May 28th, so we will,
Which that's Tuesday, Trustee Perron. Our next meeting will.
that'll be the day after Memorial
Yeah,
Day.
it's the day, is that, I want to double check that tonight, it's the 28th,
Yes.
and is it still 7:30?
Yeah.
Okay, so that, I need to move that to 28th.
We have a work session that night.
I'm probably not gonna be able to come early.
I thought, I was thinking we had some, maybe not.
No,
Okay,
he just was gonna talk during public speak, just to update anything.
all right, yep, that'll be Tuesday, May 28th, day after Memorial Day at 7:30.
And something else for public speaks, the Historical Society team would like to meet with us at the Mapleton Museum. Currently, we've got a time set for next Monday at 6 p.m. We did ask them, we told them they could come to our public session to speak, and they would like to meet at the actual museum, so.
Trustees, we need to advertise that as either a work session, because we're gathering
Yeah.
together, or a special meeting.
6 p.m., Mapleton Cemetery, or Mapleton.
At the actual.
Is that on the 20th?
That's what we currently have, but we can move it. Or we don't all have to go. We can represent, and come back and talk. I don't know the details of what they want to talk about, Sharon, to be honest.
Brian, do you have enough time to advertise it?
Yeah.
Well, the 20th is fine for me. What time they say?
6.
Okay.
It's just, I need to know if you want to do it as a work session. A work session, you can talk and listen to anything. If you wanted to do any kind of action, whether, I don't know exactly in detail what they want to talk about. If you take
I don't
action,
think, no action then.
No action.
so I would do it as a work session.
Okay. Well, I will confirm with Heidi and just make sure she's gonna have some representation there now that we're all able. Thanks.
All right, seeing that there's nobody else here, we'll go to the fire report.
Okay. I had a resignation letter. I handed that to Trustee Trustee Varian. Somebody we knew, he moved out of state, so DJ Williams has resigned. I believe it's effective the 11th, and that was his 2 weeks from when he gave it to me. It's been 3 weeks since we had a meeting, so.
Trustee Varian would like to move to accept the resignation of David E. Williams Jr., effective May 11th, 2024.
Trustee Puro, seconds. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
You had that, Brian.
I have a application under that for a Jackie Wilson. She had applied. We did interview her. She has her training, so she is an EMT basic. She has her 240. She actually lives in Paris.
Okay.
So I am interested in hiring her. She's never worked at a fire department, so she has no experience, at least on the fire side, and would certainly need some training. But she comes with all of her schooling, so that is super useful. So she would be hired at the EMT rate of 15. I honestly, off the top of my head, don't know what that is. It would be the EMT basic rate. She's supposed to hire her.
Can I ask, do we also have part of that training as in driver's training of the larger vehicles?
It would be part of her training once she's hired. Oh, yes. They have to log so many hours on the vehicles. She does have a CDL, which is, she most certainly does, which is super random.
That is random.
Uh-huh.
But good for her.
She drove like a septic truck, I guess, but yeah, so that's helpful.
She should be fine. Behind that
She
big,
should know how to drive.
she should be good.
You would think, yeah, she would be the only one, I think, on the department.
I was gonna
with
say,
the
she'd be
CDL,
the
but,
only one.
she would still have hours logged, yeah. Everybody has to have so many hours per year anyway, beyond initial training.
Okay.
Is she a recent grad then?
She is a recent grad of Stark State's Fire and EMS programs, but she is not super young. She's,
Okay.
yeah, she's not like a brand new high school grad, but she did just,
Date of birth is 94.
We see no age.
We see no age.
correct, yeah.
Are you ready? You make a motion to hire? You've interviewed and satisfied?
Yep.
All right. Trustee Varian moves to hire Jacqueline Wilson to our fire department, coming in at an EMT rate of $15 and some change. Brian, we'll have to look that up if you don't mind. Fiscal Officer Lowry. Get that in. Effective, when would you like that to be effective, Amy?
I think we just started a new pay period
Okay.
yesterday.
Well, let's make it effective now, and you can hire her and get her started.
That's fine.
Effective May 13, 2024.
Trustee Griffith, seconds.
Roll call.
Varian,
Yes.
Griffith,
Yes.
Puro.
Yep.
Would you like that back?
As a copy.
Great.
Usually Brian needs it, so I just
Okay,
started.
give that to Brian.
The next thing I wanted to discuss, we have the opportunity to purchase a pump for $249. So there's an actual, so it's a 200-gallon tank with a 320-gallon per minute pump. The pump that is currently in there and the tank that is in there, that tank filled, it puts that truck at capacity. It's up over that back window. We've tried it with less water in it. That makes the vehicle pretty much not drivable. It is a pump that, so Dan Adams purchased it from another fire department and completely rebuilt the engine on it. So he currently owns it. It would be him selling it if we are interested in purchasing that pump. I have some of the specs here from him.
So what is it? And maybe my terminology is wrong. Is it a grass truck insert? Like, what's the terminology?
It's an insert. It's on a metal.
Grass truck insert. Okay, and the 249 is the grass truck.
Correct.
Okay.
It would probably be cheaper to just change the tank in the truck.
Well, that's only part of the problem though. The pump that's in there is only like I'm gonna say 20-gallon per minute pump, and I don't know if that's accurate or not. It's a very low,
Which one?
the one that's in there right now, the one that we put in. Do you know how many gallons per minute that pump is?
It's bigger than the one that was in there previous.
Yes, and that was the wrong one as well.
So you want a smaller tank and a higher capacity pump?
Yes, because this truck can then draft. So it's plumbed to draft. It's plumbed with a foam cell, so it could essentially do foam, but it could draft, or we could fill out of one of the bigger trucks because it has intakes. It's a more useful insert for that truck than what's
Is
current.
he gonna warranty it?
Is he gonna warranty it?
If he rebuilt the motor, I mean, what
Yeah.
if the motor takes a dive?
I can certainly ask.
I mean, I'm not
What is
talking
it?
years, but I mean, for 120 days or
Sure.
4 months, he ought to
Sure.
have some.
Sure.
What do you guys think?
Do we know, do we know what brand it is? Probably not a huge deal,
I
but
do. I think it's a Honda.
What year? How old?
That I don't know the year.
I'd like to know that before we make a decision.
We
yeah.
can find that out.
I think we,
What's the price on it?
So 5,100 is what has been put into it from purchase price and all the pieces.
if you all don't mind, if we could, now that we kind of got this in front of us, I'd like to do a little research on it and talk a little more to Amy, a little more to Dan on it. We'll take a look at it and we can come back to it once we've got a few more.
How many
Yes.
calls, I'd like to know how many calls that went out on last year.
That I can answer you. We are in that season now. It usually runs between like March and November. That's when we take that truck out the most for grass fires. But I can certainly get those numbers.
Yeah, we'll do a little more data collecting on it. Is he, I mean, is he in a big hurry or is he kind of giving us first right of refusal?
No, I think that's the main idea.
Okay.
Is to see if it's something that.
Yeah, I just don't wanna, before we make a decision, I don't wanna
Yeah.
have a regretted decision.
Nope, seems reasonable.
All right,
Uh,
cool.
Next one, we move on to the mower.
Yeah, so the next one so our mower that we have purchased, that mower, we have already rebuilt the engine on that. It overheats. We can mow, we mow part of the yard, we let it sit, we mow part of the yard. At some point, we're gonna need to replace it, so we need to have that on the horizon. And I did want to ask if the road department is willing to come up again and mow along that back driveway. We cannot mow back there with our garden tractor from Metzger's, but, so my hope is that they would be able to. I know they're busy at this time of year, but my hope would be they could do a couple passes with the mower.
And it's
You know what I'm
the-
talking about?
It's north of the access road that comes off of,
South, it's the south side of that access
Towards-
road.
So we come off of Wood Street on that back driveway, that side driveway.
We can't.
It's on the left.
oh, it's
side.
yeah, that's right, it'd be the south side, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
you're
it's
right.
the south side of that.
It's road, grass, woods.
Yeah.
Okay,
The property owner on the other side mows almost up
all the
to
way
that
to,
driveway.
okay,
But we cannot mow from like,
got
it's
it.
about halfway back, the rest of the way out to the road. We just,
It gets real rough.
it's bad back there. Honestly, a big chunk of our backyard is bad from when they came out with four-wheelers. That's torn up as well, but the part we really can't get is back there.
Do we know how old the Husky is?
It's less than 7 years. Rick bought it when he was here.
Okay,
It's,
That's not that old.
mm-mm.
I think I'm still driving one that's like 15 years old.
Well, that's the problem. Ones that are older
Are
are
the
still
better
good.
ones.
It's the newer ones that
Yeah,
are the problem.
all right.
That's what I found.
Is it, who rebuilt the engine?
Dan did. Yeah, I believe at some point it was run with not enough oil in it. And that was the issue. That's been several years ago now.
But other
Is
than,
the-
other than the engine,
Is it in pretty good shape? Like, could we buy a replacement engine, a new engine for it?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay,
Maybe we can run up there.
we'll do a little research on that and see.
Sounds good. Yeah, that's not something that needs replaced tonight. Just,
Yeah,
It's-
got it, but if you can't mow the whole yard, not because you're tired, but because it overheats.
correct.
You probably wouldn't even be able to mow that anyway, would you? Because it's so rough over there.
Well, back
Yeah,
where I'm
that's-
asking for that, no, we
You
don't.
don't mow
But
that
even just
anyway.
the rest of the yard, they usually have to mow part of it and that's not
Okay.
gonna cool down.
Okay.
47 calls.
Okay.
12 of those were fire calls. Honestly, we had several tanker assists to other municipalities, and then 6 assists from Louisville. 2 of those were on second calls, and then a couple of them were last Saturday. We just had 1 person working.
What were the fire calls? Is that just burning when they weren't supposed to?
An oven fire. We had a tractor fire, like a yard tractor fire. We had a dishwasher the other day.
Were you guys on the run with the tanker and the car accident? You guys on that
So
run?
we were at that fire.
Was
It was
everybody,
a different
is
tanker.
everybody okay?
Mhm.
Yep. I think it was a pretty bad accident. Like, it was a pretty bad collision. Okay.
Yep.
What department was it?
Sparta.
Was it? If it was a Sparta tanker, they can't have many tankers. They've got probably like we do.
Yeah, I don't know if they have one or two, but it was, I mean, it's
I
not.
mean, it's not, they're not
It's not
fixing
good.
it.
It's why I get nervous when I have one young person driving it somewhere.
Yeah.
We don't take the tanker hot anywhere, so like we just drive to the place because it was at PSC Metal, so we was driving on 30, driving over to Canton Township in it.
Yeah.
And so we don't take our tanker hot, and
Yeah.
there's a reason we don't take our tanker hot somewhere else.
Yeah. Okay.
It's never going to be the first truck there, so
Yeah, right. You're gonna be helping.
it's not going to be
Yeah.
any faster.
Okay, I've got a couple more things here per the agenda. We have these two bills. Do we want an executive session and talk, or want to get them paid? We've talked before.
I'm fine.
Fine.
Okay. We have two bills that we're going to move to get paid today, and these were transports, both from Louisville for our team, our Osnaburg team. And so we had transports because we could not take them in our own
While they
vehicle
were on duty.
while they were on duty. We could not take them in our own vehicle because we didn't have enough people, because one of the people that was on call was someone who needed care. And so the first motion will be Trustee Berry makes a motion to pay Louisville City $878 for a transport on 12/17/2023.
Trustee Peel seconds. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
And then the second one is also a bill to Louisville City. This one is for $958, and the service run date on this one is 2/9/24.
What was the dollar amount?
$958.
Trustee Griffith? Motions.
Trustee Varian second.
All those in favor, aye.
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 Pass this back to Brian. Thank you. And then I think the only thing else we have on fire is updates on ambulance grant and new grant. Brian, do you want to speak on that?
Friday, I received information that we had from that date to the 22nd of May, so it was quick, to sign up on an additional extension. Money was ready.
Yeah.
So I signed this up
Okay,
and I asked for $20,000.
okay,
It is only for the people that were in that time frame
Okay.
again.
Yep.
So I think we're down to 14 of those people.
Yep.
If not 15, I'll confirm with you.
okay,
But we still have one more payment to make on the
Yep.
previous grant.
Okay.
So this will go into effect for the quarter of, it's actually right now, it's an overlap, but it goes up till September 30th. And sometime after that, it has to be done by October 30th. or
Okay.
31st. So I don't know what they'll give. They left it open. I think what they're going to do is see how much money is available in the pool.
Okay.
And then based on what we have already done, we got $20,000 the first time.
Yep.
But that would give the firefighters a quarterly,
yeah,
a considerable amount if you get the whole 20.
yeah,
That was the update on that.
Thank you. One more thing before we move on. Captain Dan Adams put together a quote for us. This is on the radio topic. The quote's got obviously some nice stuff in here because the quote's coming in at $21,925. But this is when we were kind of having the conversation about the radios for the road department. And so I would like to see us, and I appreciate Dan getting these quotes together. I know we talked about this in the last meeting. I'd like to see us, if we have the funds to do it, if we think it's important to do, I'd like to see us bring in Staley to take a look at what we currently have and see what their opinion is on it.
Is that radios that go with the current system the fire department uses?
Yeah, so and I'll speak a little bit more on this. I called Brad Candle, who is now part owner of Staley, very knowledgeable. He went over there is an antenna on the water tower that belongs to the township that the fire department used. Currently, there's a brand new antenna on that tower, 6 months old, that the school put up. He thinks that if he could come in with his team and take a look at what we have, we could update the antenna, maybe possibly keep the radios we have, make them work a ton better. They just haven't been touched.
And that's what, Ryan.
And probably, and he was saying that You know, some of the marks, we talked about marks, we talked about some other options. And he was just saying a lot of, even some of the bigger townships that they work with don't use marks only because they're just so expensive. But he said he'd like to come in and take a look at what we have and possibly get us back in business with some radios we can use in the trucks for a reasonable amount of money.
I really think if they get a new antenna up on there, it's messed up probably. That's why we're not getting.
And his comment was for our township and the way it's laid out, he said that water tower is perfect. He said, you if it's working right, you should have service in the entire township.
I know Ryan said once they got the new antenna and cable up there for the school, they said it really straightened the buses and everybody up now.
Great.
The radios are working great.
Great. I think that should be our next step as far as radios for the road department is bringing them in and having them at least give us a quote.
And then check our radios.
And check our radio. And Brad said there might be a replacement radio for the trucks, which is going to be cheaper than a lot of the emergency radios, of course.
So that 21,000 is not for radios, it's just for getting the tower.
No, this is a separate quote. This is radios.
That's radio.
That's radio.
This is a quote for radios.
Mark's radio.
This is Mark's
It is.
radios. Yeah.
It's-
This is the good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is
do an
the,
antenna probably somewhere in around the range of 5,000 to 6,000, just like they did for the bus garage.
But I think we should get the first one working first.
yeah, I think if we
Yeah.
get the ball rolling with them to start and then maybe let them tell
That
us.
could be a lot cheaper just fixing and putting
Well,
the
that
antenna.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And going with the radio.
So we don't have a quote for that.
We don't have a quote for Brad's team coming in, no.
Okay. And how many radios was that on the maker? Marks.
Oh, how many total radios for the 21?
Yeah.
How many was 4? Yeah, I think it's 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
And then there's a service. I mean, there's
There's a year.
isn't it true that they don't love the Marks radios being used by the road department only because it's really for emergency? Is that correct?
More or less.
Okay.
And that's what they were intended
They
for.
would
but
rather
other-
use-
I don't
I'd
know
rather
if
be
they
on
can
our own frequency
say.
like we're
Yeah.
at right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Does Canton City use Mark? Somebody told me that they did.
I don't.
The only department as of right now in Stark County that was not using Marks was New Michelin. Everybody else was using Marks.
Oh, your departments. There's a road. Brad was saying there's a road department. I think it might be Kansas City, and they said even the big road departments don't use Marks just because of the expense.
I think it's a lot of it's the monthly fee.
Well, and
That's
there's
the
user
expense.
fees, and the commissioner won't cover it for
Yeah,
the road.
they're just well,
Not for you. No.
yeah. But you guys work a lot by cell phones, which is great. But at the same time, it'd be really nice if your radios worked when it was plowing.
Yeah, when you're out there
When
in
you're out
a
plowing,
snowstorm, it's nice to
it's
grab that
really
and
nice
just
to
say
get-
something to
So
somebody.
you're not pulling a phone out of
You
your pocket.
gotta stop and get your phone up.
I'd like to. I mean,
That needs to-
I'd like to bring Staley in
Yeah.
and take a look.
Yes.
Yes.
If that's okay with everybody, I don't mind making that phone call.
Yeah.
All right, I'll make that phone call.
Just real quick before you keep going, on here had mentioned update on the ambulance. I do have a date on an ambulance. I was given the date. It's 11/26, so the delivery date is November, which I don't love, but we have a date. I wrote it in pencil, and I also have a buyer for the old ambulance at this point.
That's the most
So-
important news right there.
So Brian, are we gonna outlast our grant limits?
Yeah, that's who
I'm
gets a
sure-
check and
I'm
how
sure-
long ago should they have gotten it?
Sure we're
A
not
couple
going-
things happened, Trustee. I'll update everybody on it. The deadline for submitting in my yearly submission was April 30th, 2024. Because of what happened a year earlier, I couldn't get on there to do the update, which we hadn't done anything other than we appropriated for the ambulance, the road truck, finished up with premium pays and some fire hoses, and then we did some additional fire hoses. Anyhow, with that being said, I was trying to get on there, and I had another fiscal officer who had been through that, sent a memo out to me that they extended the date to April 30th of 2025. But I got a notice from the federal government that says, Mr. Lowry, we would like to report on where you're at right now. But I was a little nervous about giving it to them because they could zap that money back out if they don't like what it is. So I'd rather get that ambulance and that road truck
Paid for.
get it paid for before they would say, oh, no, you can't do that, because I never really reported it yet. I have it all documented on paper, and I have the initial report when we started, but it'd be nice to have that ambulance and that road truck before this year's out. before that 2025 deadline is there, because then we've got the money spent that was given to us. And I have all the documents, like the fire hose, we bought some fire hoses, we had premium pay, and then the ambulance and the new ambulance and the fire truck. I'd like to have that wrapped up if we can in 2024, because then I'll go in online and then fill it all out. And then I'll see what they have to say.
Now, is this just the box or is it the chassis too for the ambulance? Is it the whole package?
It's the whole package, but
Well,
we did pay for.
we've already paid for the
We
chassis.
paid for the chassis.
We paid for it for
It
the
was like
chassis.
$50-some thousand. That
Yeah.
has been paid.
So you could turn that 50,000 in.
I could, but I don't want to go in there and do it
Right.
because they're going to ask, what are you
So-
doing with all the rest?
But I wonder too, if we have a date, I mean, if they say we're gonna get it in November, we could go closer to
I want
October.
to get,
We could say, can you bill us, please? You know, so we
Well-
get that check cut.
well, keep in mind, trustees, we want to get everything done before the end of 2024.
Okay,
And the sooner the better. Of
okay.
You said
anything, whether it's the road
26.
truck or anything.
11/26.
11/26.
November 26th.
It's when
this
the-
year.
Of this
is
year.
when
No.
Oh, I thought you meant 2026.
Oh, no.
This year.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I would have.
Oh, no.
That's why I thought you were on with Mom about
Literally
it.
a heart attack. November of this
We'd get an old
year.
starter bus and
Give or
convert it
take
by that
2
point. I
weeks.
mean,
I don't know what the road
We
truck.
can't. be-
I thought we weren't even close.
No.
we can't be. We can't. Be.
No, Thanksgiving time.
Yeah, Thanksgiving
And
this
we
year.
we are not the.
It's still
only
2
people,
years.
Oh, I'm sure.
But
Oh,
there is
I know.
people that have reported.
Because
that
I was
wanna
gonna say,
go
we
to
can't wait till.
those-
Yeah.
No.
No, it's still 2
Right.
years.
Sorry,
Right.
the date he wrote was
Yeah.
this year.
Well, if you want to get them, if you want to get the ambulance paid in 24, we'll just push to get the invoice in. And we have to, are we gonna buy the retrofit for the striker cot through the ambulance company, or is that bought through somebody
It
else?
needs to be bought separately.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's Stryker, is it?
To striker,
yeah.
because we have to buy the kit, but we can use the cot.
Correct.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
power cot,
We
okay.
could go ahead and get that.
We could get
done.
that done, yeah.
Yes.
All right, we'll try to get the ambulance billed so you can write the check for 24. We'll work on that. All right. And then the buyer that Amy has, I don't want to speak for her. If I'm wrong, please tell me.
No.
The buyer is buying ambulances for some simulation. Is
Yeah.
that correct?
Correct.
So, which would be kind of great because we're not worried about, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be on the road, possibly driving here and there,
But
but
they're not putting patients in.
it's not in service.
Correct.
So we're not
Well, I
worried
guess
about,
it depends on the value of it, because there's a
Well-
certain limit where we have to put it out.
Correct.
So does it have to go out?
Was that,
Are we above that
I
value?
don't know. I don't know what the
when
value
we
is
looked
currently.
the last time, the trade-in 2 years ago, remember, the trade-in 2 years ago was 5,000 on ours. And we felt, Amy and I did the research and we felt comfortable that they were bringing 7,000 to 8,000 at the time with the miles.
Right.
That's 2 years. I mean, that was 2 years ago. So, I mean, $7,000, $8,000. I don't know if that's anywhere close to where it should be, but we're not even there yet.
I mean, I think that's a good reason, good cause, but still, we have to follow the legal side and do.
Right.
And
Correct.
I don't know what that is.
Right.
Brian,
I think
do you know?
the person looking to buy it's willing to pay for it, right?
Yeah, but I just know if you're selling it for a certain, if your assets, you have to be able to like list it then.
Yeah, Brian, do you know the rules
The rules on the,
to sell the ambulance?
to sell it, you have to deem it worth less than $2,500
Oh, so you,
that you can sell.
Yeah.
okay.
If you're going to do a trade-in or get value from the value, you can do that a part of the deal.
Why
Okay.
wouldn't we just put it out there, whoever wants to
Yeah,
pay?
if it's worth more than 2,500, then how do you sell it?
Public bid.
Advertise it.
Yeah, I would
Advertise
say
it.
Just advertising?
You advertise it after we get our new one or before?
Yeah.
We ain't got to worry about it for a while.
Yeah, we really don't have to worry about it for a while.
All right,
All right, we'll keep moving.
All right, we got to approve the supplemental appropriation special funds repair for the fire truck 241 repair.
Yeah, trustees, with that is regarding the last meeting, we did receive a check. We're getting another check to us for the balance. Some other money is owed. That total is $22,381. I have that money certified with the county auditor
Okay,
before we can spend it. What I'm asking you tonight is to it's a supplemental appropriations to approve it so we can spend it and pay for this repair work being done.
and this money was paid from the insurance company?
Yes,
Okay.
but it's been certified by the county auditor.
Trustee Varian moves to approve the supplemental appropriation of $22,381.86 to repair fire truck 241. These funds are an insurance claim fund.
Trustee Griffith, seconds?
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Okay, I think we're done with fire.
Cemetery.
Ryan and I got to talk here the last couple of days, and I also got to talk to Jim Beck. All township cemeteries have been mowed twice. The second time was all done on Friday, May 10th, so that was good for Mother's Day weekend. They were all done. He's like probably most people and all the farmers trying to fight the weather to get these things done, but he was able to get that done. And then he was up here mowing the township site on Sunday to get us caught up. So that's an update on the mowing. I know the funds in there, each time he mows cemetery, it's $1,092.80. This is all cemeteries, to give you an idea. I always tell him about 13 mows a year. Right now, I've told him to keep caught up with through Memorial Day, July 4th, Father's Day, different things that are going on. But after that, we may have to back down because we don't have enough funds in there to accommodate the rest of the year or stretch them out longer. Just to let you trustees know, and that would bring up my other part I have on there. There's a deadline that we need to have a decision made if we're going to put a ballot cemetery levy on. I know we tried that twice. But we need to consider it if we're going to maintain these extra cemeteries and the things to do the basic keep on them. We need to consider that because you have to have this prepared. And I put June 30th. It's actually July something is the actual deadline, but I got to have it so I can do all the things before that. And the same thing with the road. When you get down there, I put that in there too. It's the same time frame. So these things need to be considered. I just wanted to let you know we don't want to procrastinate. We're in the middle of May, or we're going to be in the middle of May next week. We only have a few weeks. We're in June, so it needs to be considered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That's all I have. We only had one burial, and that was the Mary King at Mapleton since the last meeting.
I guess we might as well wait until we see what next week's about. What do you think?
I think you need to maybe wait till you talk with that work session.
Find out what
Yeah,
that's
see
all
what
about.
that's all about.
Well, that might be a good time to find someone who wants to lead that campaign to help us get money to take care of the cemetery.
All right,
It's good. Yeah, you're right. That's a good idea.
we'll table it till the 28th.
That's a good idea.
All right.
That's it for cemetery. Road report. All right, good evening, everybody. The trustees have read over the road report. Is there any questions you'd like to ask? We started running, or mowing last week. Everything's going good. Getting a few calls, people happy to see it we're mowing. And we started Durapatching. We need to discuss for the road bid program, bids and programs and deadlines. Yep. So I have actually 3 different areas that I'd like to possibly put out for bid. 2 for sure out of the 3, and that would be the chip and seal and the blacktop, that leveling for those 2 different other allotments.
We did the
Valkyrie,
one, did we do the one allotment leveling on it?
no, we haven't done nothing.
We haven't done any.
We haven't done that for quite a few years now. The only thing left now is Viking, Valkyrie, and Sciaga Circle off 44, and then off Georgetown, Sunlight, Goshen, and 15.
But we did some of them before.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah.
And those have held up well.
Oh, yes.
That's what I
Oh,
was
yeah.
asking.
They're all, everything we've done so far
and these are the last two allotments. We went in and leveled them up with blacktop, and then went back like a year or two later and microsealed.
Okay.
So they should last hopefully for about 8 years, 10 years now.
At least.
They're saying they're going longer now. It all depends on traffic, how much traffic flow is in each of those allotments.
Yeah.
Biggest thing that's hard on them is garbage trucks.
Yeah.
Fuel trucks, whatever, but, and then the, chip and seal program, I have, 13. Well, some of these roads, they're kind of broke up. You have south lots, middle lots, and north lots. So, but it comes out to 13 different roads here I have.
What's your mileage?
Let's see. That's around 15.40.
Okay. Close to years past.
A little more.
A little more? Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause we do
I mean, I know I might
Can you
have
read the
to.
names? Can you read the names of the roads?
Yes, it's Mapleton Street, and that's between Indian Run to 44. And then we have Hill Church, which goes between Indian Run to 44. And then on the other side, you go from 44 clear up to the top of Hine for Hill Church there. You have the east side and west side. Your next one would be lots south, the south end, down by Dave Fowles. And then you have the middle section of lots, and then you have north lots clear up here by Orchard View to Valley Brook. And we have Carroll View, we have Hine, and then Hine North, that little section goes back in, dead ends on the other side of Weimer Drive. And we have Mitchell, Weimer, Valley Brook, and Orchard View. All subject to, maybe I have to
Where's
take some
Orchard
off.
View?
Huh?
Orchard View?
Orchard View, between 44 down to Lots Avenue.
Okay.
Past the cemetery.
No, that's Lots.
Yeah, that turns out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
But
turns out
Orchard
lots.
View's from, we just have a
Goes to
little
the-
short stretch there.
Goes to the stop sign that no one stops at.
Yeah.
That one.
You got
Poor Cheryl Walk, but just the people just buzz by that stop
it.
signs.
They just blow through that.
Close to Aiden's house.
And then I was wanting to,
Stay on this, just right for a second.
okay,
Trustees, Stu had asked me to take a look at some of these and, I can do projections. I know the costs and all this. And I told him, I said, present it to the trustees, which he's doing, to give, these are the recommendations for the southern section of roads that need done in our township. Tonight, as we move forward, we need to get these bids out because we got 30 days. So the next meeting, we would have to have a special meeting to get it in there, so before July 4th. So whatever we're doing, keep that in mind, at least get the bid packages. I can write the bids up that you can take something off if I
Right.
need to adjust.
right.
So as Stu goes on with the next ones,
How much are we working with roughly?
well, that depends. I can't answer it exactly, but I can get you within $100,000, but you're between $300,000 to $400,000. But
North of 300.
what's that?
We're gonna be north, 300 north.
Yeah, 300 north.
Okay.
Because why I'm saying that is because these other projects that need done, like the road leveling and things that Stu's gonna get you, there's gonna have to be some wiggle room on taking off some chip and seal here.
Right.
And,
Exactly.
and what we need to be considering as you're looking at all these is that get the bids out there, get the packages in, then you can make the evaluation. Then I can take a snapshot right then and say, okay, here's what we have to do or not do. Okay.
Okay. So do you need a motion or should we continue to talk?
We're not done yet.
Yeah, you can go ahead and go through them all.
Now, the other project is Osnaburg Street.
Oh, my car broke down on Osnaburg. I walked here from Osnaburg. Shit.
You stuck?
I'm stuck in a bottle.
We need to do
We
something
gotta
with
get
it.
bids on it. It's for a full depth reclamation, with different options. We're gonna bid
Yeah.
out different options, see what our options are. But
Yeah.
something's gotta be done. It's terrible.
It's terrible. We're getting way too many phone calls, people complaining,
The
the
local-
brickyard complaining, big time, everybody.
All
I
right,
think
so-
we need to check with the state what they're gonna do, because they just tore all those houses down.
Well,
How
we
quick are
need
they coming
to, we need to check with the village. That's partly their road too.
It's not very high percentage, but they do pay a percentage. I don't think it's over 10%.
But
Do,
anything that can
Right.
help,
So-
I mean,
so if they go with
we're
the
usually doing all the work to that road.
Oh, no,
There's
right.
never any help coming.
if they stick with the plan they're gonna stick with, closer to 30 is
Now-
gonna be left,
Let me
right?
fill you in too. When I looked at this about fixing the worst section
Which is closer to 30.
where the railroad track crosses
Yeah.
down there,
Yeah.
just up from that, we, right about like it
Right
is,
there,
right
that
there.
picture.
See where the railroad track is? All right, I told him to start, I talked to somebody about it, about doing like a full reclamation. I wanted to stay, because there's like 75-foot right of way there for the railroad, and they're picky about getting anywhere close,
Right.
so. I had them,
Oh,
I
okay.
stayed back that way, and from there, it needs full reclamation, clear back to Wood Street. Everything else down across the tracks and out around the 30 isn't that bad. It could be like leveling with blacktop or something if you really wanted to try to fix that up right.
Okay.
So it doesn't pay to do that on the other side, not the part you're talking about.
The other side, I'm not even worried
Over
about.
by Wood Street,
Oh,
from there, if 30 is going to come through.
They're gonna close it there.
They're closing it right at Wood Street.
Yeah, they're gonna close it.
no, wait a minute. I thought it was not gonna be closed. It's gonna have a cul-de-sac back there.
No, no, no.
But what I was told was cul-de-sac was gonna go in on this end.
The trustees, the cul-de-sac's going out here.
Right.
Is
It
in
is.
this area. From
It's
here
gonna allow
over,
them access to those couple
From
parcels.
there to Wood Street, the road.
No, wait a minute.
when this.
So which, I want everybody to enlighten me on this. Are you saying then, Brian, when you come off 30
Yeah.
and cross the tracks, they're gonna have a cul-de-sac right
Yeah,
there up
in
past
that
that
area.
last drive?
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna
that's
be
it.
back farther.
And
But,
then the rest of Wood Street is gonna be
oh,
totally taken
Osnaburg.
out.
Osnaburg.
I mean, Osnaburg will be taken out back to
It's not-
Wood Street.
They're closing it. See those first three
Well, when is
parcels
it
from
gonna
Wood
get
Street
closed?
in?
How are they doing that when you got all these other parcels?
They bought those, they're buying those three.
They bought all that?
Yeah.
Those
Those
first
are
three
still,
parcels.
Okay,
those
okay, I
are
didn't know
still
that.
in the
Yeah.
people's names.
So from what-
Those are
See,
still
that helps me to
as
know,
So from this climbs a hill, and it's probably the worst here.
but how many years are we looking out
And then it
towards?
crests right about here.
Yeah, but you just need to go down to that driveway.
Wasn't the cul-de-sac gonna be past the entrance here?
I think it was down.
Yeah, it's gotta be up past that last driveway. You got the last,
Because there's this
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
driveway,
that stump
driveway.
place or whatever, it goes back in there.
Yeah.
Cliff, you see it? Where's the
Yeah.
stump place?
We gotta be back past
Stump place
that.
goes in right here. See
Right.
where those little walls are?
Yes, that's the entrance going back to those
So they
people
were in
right there.
cul-de-sac right
The
there.
cul-de-sacs to be about right where that point of
Can
the
we
blue.
just do that much of the road?
That's bad.
That's not the bad part. It's going back towards Wood Street.
That's pretty bad.
It's pretty
I
bad.
know it
There's
is,
a couple
but
big ones here.
what are we supposed to do? How many
Well-
years is it gonna be until they get 30 comes out there and they start?
It's approved to go.
It's
I
approved.
don't know. I just know they recently just tore down all those houses where
Yeah,
44.
over by Mitch's.
There was three of them, I
There'll be
think. they
another
tore
fire.
down.
Everything's down except for,
Hirschberger.
Hirschberg.
I thought it was
Because
fine,
my
even
wife's
if-
still living there.
I
They
thought
didn't
even
buy
if they
Hirschberg.
started, it was 5 years to finish.
Sorry, I'm wrong.
No.
it's all right.
No, they have gotten several extensions. And they have more money now. They
Okay,
didn't buy
can I
those
ask
numbers.
this question then?
Okay.
If the state already bought up all that property along there coming off of Wood Street, where Brian's showing that right now. And that road is gonna be closed,
Eventually.
why can't we close it? Why can't we go down there where you're saying where the cul-de-sac's gonna be? And
Force them to go to 30.
put a road closed sign up there, Wood Street, and a closed sign right past that other guy's
Do I have to
driveway?
get permission from the
I don't know.
engineers?
The thing is though, now you're talking about losing money.
Yeah, you're talking about all kinds of other things have to
Yeah.
happen to do that.
We have to do something. You can't, if it's 5 to 8 years, it's gonna be It'll really be.
I know,
We
it's
have
terrible
to- We either
now.
have to close it or do something.
It's.
You all
it's not
should
gonna be
really go
5
out there and
years.
drive it.
Either it is or it isn't.
But I thought
That's
they,
why we just need to call and ask them where they at, or call Richard regular.
I wish all
Him
you
and
would
Kirk
just take a
Sherman.
little spin across there. to
I'll
see how
Actually, I
bad
have
it
a
is.
meeting
Friday.
I went
They haven't
today.
had,
Did
they've
you?
canceled it the last
It's
3
bad.
months.
you're gonna talk to Richard Regular?
If they have the meeting Friday,
I'll-
once a
I'll-
month I go to that meeting. They just haven't had it for 4 months.
I'm gonna reach out to Commissioner Smith and see what he
Well,
says.
he's not on it.
Well, it'd be nice to get two opinions, see if we get the same one.
When I
He's
Call
call,
got-
Alan Harold. Alan Harold does all the minutes for it and everything.
If you close the
He
road, do you
handles the
have to
money.
put a way to turn around? Can you just have it dead end? Like if we close the road just past the stump place, could you?
I don't know that we can close it past the stump place. I don't think we can close the
why
road.
not? I mean, if we had the right to do that,
I mean, close it there,
barricade it there and barricade it down at Wood Street so nobody can come off
but
that
you
way.
still have to fix there to 30.
You could fix from
I
there
know
to
that.
the railroad tracks.
You could fix from there to the.
Well,
road.
worst case scenario is fix it past the stump place and
Yeah.
the rest of it,
Just
grind
fill
it
some
up and make it
potholes.
gravel.
Gravel.
Make it gravel.
Yeah.
Could
grade
you
it.
grind it up and make it gravel?
Oh, they can grind it up and reshape it and not do anything, but
Cheapest, that'd be
it's
cheap.
gonna probably come apart, man.
Semis coming.
They're the ones that's tearing it up bad.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
the semi.
All the
Semis,
semis.
yeah.
I
Well, they're also
talked to
the
the
ones
plant
coming-
manager, Mike, and they've never, the drivers will not listen. They stole our signs and took them when we put up no trucks.
That's why I'm saying don't fix it. If it gets bad enough, they'll quit going that way.
You can't stop them.
But if you fix it to the entrance of the businesses,
Exactly.
Back out to 30.
and if somebody
I
calls
could care less about this.
and somebody calls and says, "Why didn't you fix that whole road?" We can say, "Because it's going to be gone when 30 comes through. We can't put our money in that."
Exactly.
No, I have no.
And I don't have a problem with that
I just
either.
think we should fix it down to where the businesses, so they can go
So
to.
they
Oh, I
can-
agree. That bottom piece, I think we should
So
fix.
so where the cursor is now, when Brian's got his cursor now, to 30 or to the railroad tracks.
To the railroad tracks.
Well, I mean, what are we talking?
No,
full tear
no,
up?
if you're wanting to do like you just said, you're gonna go from where Brian was pointing right there.
Yeah.
Back down across over to 30.
I would get a price on the whole thing. to
I
30,
would too. I would get it to 30.
Because it's not that much.
That part from right where he's pointing back that way,
Well,
don't
and
be
it
tore
gets-
up and total reclamation.
It gets wide so they can turn and get on 30.
I
It
know.
gets wide.
That there could be,
It
I
gets
can go in there
wide
and
right
fix the small potholes and the big ones and you could have that.
Well,
But we don't have to make it that wide.
but you could,
It needs to be left like it is because them semis swinging there.
why
they're
don't you,
huge.
figure a reclamation on this section and then just get a chip and seal bid on that other piece just to get it fresh? That ain't gonna cost, that ain't that big. Just see what it is. We
Chip
don't
and
have-
seal them semis with those long, axles.
What is it now?
They're gonna tear the heck out of the chip and seal.
What is it?
It's somewhat blacktop and we've been
Yeah, it's somewhat. There's
patching
blacktop.
it up for years and years and
There's
years.
blacktop there. It was
blacktop.
blacktopped at one point.
It was blacktop.
Yeah. I would probably say there's more ATVs that drive from the cursor to wood
Yeah,
than anything else.
yeah.
And the semis.
Yeah, the semis do go out that
All
way
these
too.
semis come off.
I'm
of
just
Orchard View
saying,
down
I
Wood
hate to see the piece from the tracks to 30 get turned into that, and then you have to do something with it eventually. It's not going away.
No.
Even if 30 comes through, they're going to put a
Most all your workers, they go out to Wood Street. And all these big
That's
box
their problem.
semis come in off of Wood Street.
That's their problem.
And the trash trucks
Why do they do that?
they come out of the fire department out the side driveway where they're not supposed to.
And then they go.
And they go down Wood
Yeah.
Street, or down Osnaburg Street.
Isn't that interesting? The road is so beat up. Rattles your
They're
dentures.
not supposed to, they're supposed to go out the front drive.
They're doing better about that. They're not perfect, but they're doing better.
So we're getting quotes is what we're doing.
Yep.
All right.
Let's get a quote and get a price on chip and seal on that from the
Let's
railroad
just-
to 30 and see where it's at.
And talk
See
about,
see where it's at.
Chip and seal, it's not gonna hold up on
Well, I'm not, just get a
Let's
price.
get the price.
that. Okay.
And then back past the driveway, the last business.
So you're saying chip and seal from 30 back past the last stump people's driveway?
Brian, do you have a mark there, like where that blue line comes out on an angle?
Yeah,
right there.
Just back. See the driveway to the stump place, come back up, see where that.
Right there.
125, right there.
Yeah.
Well, where that blue line goes right across on an angle.
To the
Not
left.
that one.
Go to the
That's-
left.
So right there where that
that's
point is,
about-
yeah.
That's about where you need to go to.
Yeah, you gotta go past them.
You gotta go past something and get into it.
Right.
All right, well.
So you want it chipped and sealed from right there out to 30, which.
No.
No,
You're
that-
gonna
no.
get a price to do a reclamation from the railroad tracks to the back past the stump place. Why you got the guy figuring bids, having bid that to
Wait a
see
minute,
what-
say that again.
The section from the railroad tracks to Route 30, you said isn't too bad.
No,
So get a price on chip and sealing.
that's what I just got done saying. You put chip and seal in there, they're gonna rip it apart, twisting in there with the big long spreaded axles.
What are you gonna do with it? It's not gonna last forever.
No,
So what do you wanna do with it?
blacktop would hold up better than chip and
Get a
seal.
price for both.
Or motor pave.
Get a price
And
for
then
motor paving,
go
get a
over
price
top
for
of
chip,
that.
get a price for both.
I think if you're gonna do it and you're not gonna do the whole road, if you're gonna go to where the cursor is right now, you blacktop the whole way to 30. And then decide what you're gonna do.
From right there at the
To
stump place out to Wood
Yeah,
Street.
decide what you're gonna do with it, whether you close the road, whether you chip and seal it, whether you leave it alone for now. But make it nice for where they can pull out and pull on a 30, and then your complaint stopped. Listen, guys, we
Well,
the
here's
road's
the
gonna be
thing.
closed, we got you fixed up.
Well, Randy or you guys are just saying, if you want to do that, I'll try to get the quotes on that from 30 back to past the stump place there. Chip and seal, motor paving,
Motor,
blacktop,
yeah.
all of them.
If you do the motor pave, you don't need to do the reclamation then.
Not on that short part. If you wanted, I was gonna say, the rest of it from the stump place back out to Wood Street, have them come in and just do that shallow,
We're
3
not
to
gonna-
5 inch reclamation and tear everything back up and recrown it and let it go as a gravel dirt road.
I just let it go. Why do anything if they're gonna abandon it?
Randy, go drive it. Have you been on it? It's terrible.
Yeah, we're giving them an avenue to go to 30.
I know that.
Nobody
They're not gonna
owns,
do
the
it.
state owns that ground. Why would anybody go down that road? They don't have to.
I know they don't have to, but they don't
Do
do
you,
it.
agree- what do
Well,
you think?
what's
I
the,
think if we make the road nice and great over there, they'll go around.
No, I think we should fix it from where the blue line comes
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
And leave
Out
the
to
rest
30.
That's what I'm saying, and that's good. They're gonna start going around to drive on the good road.
what would the cost be to tear up the blacktop that's there, and just put it back in gravel? Like a gravel
You
road?
mean the rest of that out to Wood Street?
Yeah,
Just like a very shallow reclamation, chew
just
it up and
take
recrown
the
it
top off.
and just let it go at that
You
until
can
it's
get a
time to
price
rip it
on it.
out.
But when we're looking at our residents and the dollar value, there is nobody living on that.
I know, I understand, and I agree
None
with
of
you
those
on
people drive that road.
Well,
Except for-
you get some prices
But get
to
the price.
fix it, and I'll call Alan Harold and see where we're at on 30.
Yeah, I think that's right. That's the right thing to do. Because then we can justify our cost by saying, hey, they say they're going to start.
The last time we talked, the state said they were gonna go ahead and close
Yeah, they
that,
did. They said
because they were gonna
close it.
fill that mine in, and they were gonna go ahead and close
They
it
were
Yeah,
gonna
down.
close
mine,
They were gonna
remember
close
we
the
had to fill
road.
that right there on Osnaburg Street.
Well, they wanted to close the road before we were going to start see other like
I love it.
construction.
Right.
They were going to come close it for us.
I wish they would have.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's the question.
Well, like
and
Brian
that
said,
might- and
we
might-
lose money, we
they
lose
might
money.
come
Because
in.
they're trying to spend the rest of that first grant before it expires, so maybe they'll just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, close the road.
Uh,
While you're there, motor pay.
No, as long as we give the businesses a route to get to 30.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
not our problem if they.
If
They
they
go
just
the wrong way.
drive that
Do that.
road, that's
Right.
what I think.
Yeah, if it's all blacktop to 30 and they still complain about potholes, well, we gave you a path.
Yeah.
If you'd rather fix that section from 30 back to the stump place there, really good and nice. They gotta do reclamation on part of that because clear it past the stump place, it is terrible.
That's not real long, did it? Get a
Thank
bid.
you. Amy. Stu, do we typically blacktop and then call the railroad and say, we need you to put it all together for us, and they come and do the aprons? Or do they want you to stay away? Will it just still be a bad railroad until they decide to do it? Because we can't blacktop to the railroad, correct? We have to leave them.
They let us come in there, me and Lee back years ago and filled that, because that railroad was so
So
terrible. And
bad.
they didn't even
care.
kick out any money to help us on that.
Do you have
Okay.
a number for the railroad?
Yeah.
Because you
Give
could
me
do
that number. You have a contact name?
you could do
I
all
think
this,
so.
and that railroad could just still be a big pit. You know,
Well,
If we were gonna blacktop and everything there
they'll
again,
probably go blacktop to it for you.
they would be all for that, right? Because they loved it once.
give
we
me a
did what we
number and a
did.
contact, and I'll call the railroad and find out, try and push them to help. See if they'll help out.
That'd be great.
And we can.
But
post
all
a
I'm saying to
sign
you right
rough
now
road
is-
down at the wood.
Yeah, rough road.
From right there where Brian's got the arrow right now,
Right.
up from down there by the railroad track, back up
Yep.
to that spot where
Right.
he's talking about just past the stump place there.
Which is
Right.
still
That
kind
is
of,
really bad.
It's
That
really
can't just be fixed by blacktop.
no, it's really bad. It needs torn up.
It needs torn up.
But you're still climbing that hill. That hill keeps going all the way up
I know,
to that
and-
second parcel.
I know that.
Yeah.
But I'm all for it. If you guys don't want to touch the rest of the road, I mean,
We're not gonna make a decision until we have some more information.
yeah.
Sounds
So
good.
for right
We just
now,
need to get prices on doing all that we said, all the different prices. Then we'll decide what we're gonna do based on all the other information that we get. But we will definitely do from the past the stump place out to 30.
Yep.
Not to Wood Street. And then
Sounds
we'll
good.
see.
Who's finding out from the state what their projected time is? Like,
He's gonna
I'm
call
gonna call
Alan Harold.
Alan Harold, and I'm gonna call the railroad, and but I'm gonna call Alan Harold and see what he can tell me, or if he wants me to call somewhere else, I'll find out.
Then Friday, they're supposed to show up and have a meeting. Hopefully Kirk Shearing's on there. If I find out anything there, then I'll let you know.
I'll call Alan Harold tomorrow morning.
Sounds good.
I will try to get some different quotes as far as motor paving, blacktopping, whatever, that short section. I know when they see that upper part there to get up past that stump place there where the road's so bad, it's.
Yeah.
Well, you can get a price on tearing it up. We're not gonna blacktop it.
There ain't nobody gonna come in and do that little short section, 80 feet long or 150 feet. They ain't gonna bring the machine up.
Yeah.
To do that.
Well, let's
For
just
what?
see. To cut all
To
that.
tear that up, that short little section there from the railroad track up past the stump place. Cause it's bad right there. You got two different driveways here. Semis come in here and go down in this way to get loaded. Semis come up here and go back, which they come from this way with the box trailers to come back in here to drop off stuff. We are back away from the railroad track, starting right in here somewhere in between their low driveway and the upper driveway at the brickyard is where it's really bad up here to get up here past the stump place, like you're saying.
Right, can you
Stop
scroll
right
in there?
There's actually 4
So
driveways.
you're not, it's not a very long section. They ain't gonna come in here to do a reclamation of that little short section.
What's them numbers on there? I think that's footage.
yeah, the footage
That's
of the
footage,
front from this point
That's
to
frontage.
this point, that's 125
Yeah,
feet.
and then 200 feet's the next one.
And the next one is,
Yep,
So
36.
you're looking at around 500 feet,
Yeah.
4 to 500.
4 or
just to
500
get down
feet.
to your
Yeah.
railroad.
Well, guys, the other thing too, let's talk about this. If they say, yep, we're gonna close Osnaburg, and yep, we're gonna put a cul-de-sac, okay, we wanna know where. So if they're
Right.
gonna put a cul-de-sac in and it's another 500 feet up the street,
Right.
then we fix it to where
That'd
the
be nice to
cul-de-sac
find
is.
that out from the state.
That'd be nice to
The
know.
last time we talked, Brian, zoom out a minute. They said they were buying the 3 parcels next to Wood Street.
These are
Those
all
3.
still in East Sparta's name. All these parcels are in East Sparta LLC down in East Sparta. These haven't been purchased by ODOT. Now, this land over here on the other side of Wood Street definitely has been purchased.
That's been a while ago.
Yeah. But this right here is all in East Sparta. This is still in, I forget the name. Let me look. It'll probably tell me. Right there.
Wood Street Properties LLC.
That's what it is.
Mhm.
Okay.
But they
These-
were only talking about the first 3 parcels in.
These-
What, the
Maybe
state
the
buying it?
4th. Yeah.
Is that where they're gonna
This is
tear
East
out?
cross-
Sparta
over.
properties.
It's cross-
Because everything else is gonna be cross over top, way over top.
All these lots, when I looked it up, are all East Sparta properties, all these.
Okay.
So it was either 3 or 4 of them, not the triangle piece.
I think that one is, yeah, it's East Sparta properties.
What's the footage on the triangle piece?
So we have to come up there as far as the triangle piece.
The footage of the triangle piece is what? That's 1800. Yeah,
You understand what I'm getting at?
yeah, it's 1800.
If you're saying,
So you're gonna be about half a mile.
Half a mile, yeah.
If you come back to that.
You come back to that's the peak of the hill. That's right
And
where it
that's supposed
crests.
to be where the roundabout is back,
Yeah.
or the turn.
Which, if there's nothing back there, and they put a turnaround back there, all it's gonna be is a dumping ground.
Trustee Griffin,
That's
when
what I
I
said.
saw that
That's all it's gonna
ODOT
be.
diagram that they showed, and I was at that meeting, That turnabout is in this area.
Oh, really?
It's down here. It isn't up in here. It was
Okay.
all right in here.
Okay. Well, it's good to know. We need to know
That
that.
could be subject to change.
Yeah, they
It
keep changing
is,
their mind.
But I
That's
don't
why
think they're
we
gonna
need to
cut it up
ask.
in that hill right now because they're
We
gonna try to
can't,
get these
like I
two
said, we
access.
can't make any decisions until we got some more information.
Right.
No,
Sounds good.
Like you said, it,
So you can just get all your quotes till we find out what part of the road is gonna be closed and what isn't.
right.
I just don't know how we're gonna do that upper part there where it starts turning bad, really bad quick there by the upper driveway of the brickyard and the stone place. To do such a short area, unless we had them come in and do a full reclamation of the whole thing from 30 back around there up to that and do it that way. Where they put the cement in with it and it really stiffens it up.
Well, you gotta talk to them and see what, you
Right.
can't speak for them to say they won't do it, you don't know.
Well, let's get more info. Sounds good.
We need to find out how close we're able to go up to the railroad track.
Yeah.
Don't forget to give me that number.
I'll give it to you
And then-
when we leave.
You want a motion for the bid?
What I would like to see, you need a motion to put your chip and seal program out for bid. And you need a motion to put your
Leveling.
leveling out and
For
there's a
those
lot
two lots.
out for bid.
You
Because
gotta-
all
you gotta
that's
do
gonna
it.
be over $50,000, either
All
one.
right, all right, trustee Piro moves to put our chip and seal program out for bid for 2024 projects.
Trustee Varian, second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Trustee Piro moves to put our leveling program out for bid for allotments,
Valkyrie,
Valkyrie and Valhalla Terrace.
yeah, and then Sunlight Goshen and 15th.
Sunlight Goshen at 15th.
Trustee Varian, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Trustees, I'll try to get these all typed up with Stu's help.
You
So
don't
we,
want anything for the other one?
the other one, I think you guys just need to have some different pricing there.
Get some prices, then
Cause you gotta have the pricing.
we'll see if we can get some more information before the next, and then we can start to make a decision. If it,
Yeah.
maybe we won't have to go out to bid. Maybe we will, maybe we won't, we don't know yet.
Sounds good.
All right,
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
discussion on putting road levy on fall ballot deadline. I think we should wait until we decide on the other one, unless you guys want to do something right now. Let's,
You can wait on it, it's just you need to be thinking.
well, I mean, we can talk about it whenever we figure out what we're gonna do in the cemetery.
Right.
Yeah, let's talk together on that.
And it takes somebody to lead the way, then it can't be us. So,
Right. All right, updates on Park Road project. They put us into another program down in the state. We didn't qualify for that one which I seen. That the ones that qualify, they haven't even funded them yet, so they might not get funded. But regards to that, I was approached by somebody that's on the local committee, and they're interested in helping me. I don't know how you put it, do a better job of filling some things out so we score higher points that I didn't know of learning last year. So everybody else is on board to move forward with it. I'm gonna keep, now I know information I need to get, I can get it earlier, so we're gonna continue to work unless you guys want to stop it. I'm the one that's gonna do the work, so it's not.
What kind of shapes Parks in, you know?
Well,
I mean,
if we keep going, it's been probably going on 7-8 years since it's been touched.
From the help that I'm gonna get, I don't think we'll have any issue.
All right, then I keep going then.
so Randy, the thing is, we have such a small piece of road. Where are the other two townships?
Oh, they're willing to do anything that we need to do.
I mean, why aren't they helping write the grant?
I don't know, it's not, they are helping, it's information submitted, but it's some of the stuff I didn't get submitted correctly. They are helping, they're gathering data.
Okay. But I mean, it seems like we're leading. Why are we leading? We're the least, we have the least in it.
I agree with you, but for what I'm doing, I'd like to know what I'm doing. So if I pass the ball off,
I don't know what I'm doing. This will help for, maybe might
Okay,
help for
I mean,
others.
if you want to try it again, it's fine. But every time we've done it with them, we've always had to lead the way.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying with that, and we can approach that next round down the road if we want to do it. We can force one of them to do it, but I've gone this far.
Yeah, I mean, if you
So-
want to keep trying.
So we're leaving parks off of our road list, right, for this year?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, and we're gonna
I'm
keep working
keeping,
on
I'm keeping
funds.
track of.
If I
my
didn't
work.
have the individual that contacted me to do it, I wouldn't be interested in doing it again. But
But you're hoping that they'll be able to give you the knowledge.
they will be able to.
Good.
They've
Okay.
done it. They've done it several times and got the grant, and they.
Great. All right, I keep moving then.
Cliff, any work that's been done on it, I've been keeping track of.
Cool.
Or any kind of work.
Cool, just so we have it.
So we
To
have.
say, we shouldn't have done anything yet, right?
No, he's just talking
No.
Just like
about.
basic.
He's
Yeah,
talking about.
basic.
Fixing potholes.
Yeah,
Okay.
You
basic,
gotta keep track of all
General-
the, everything.
general upkeep.
So you keep track of the fuel, the
It's
hours,
at,
the miles.
for the most
the
part,
time,
it's
and
not really that
It's not in
bad.
bad
yet.
shape. No. Okay. I'm not on it a whole lot.
But the nice thing would be is we need a bunch of culvert work down at the south end of it. And that's where it gets tricky submitting. And that's what I'm hoping to be able to get all that covered.
Okay.
So,
Sounds good.
all right, zoning.
Since the last meeting had one certificate for ag exemption, over on the nuisance side of things, property over on Sindel, I did send out a certified letter at the beginning of the month, and the one renting it did call me and talk about it. I have not heard anything from Esledge. I
Okay.
sent the letter to them and haven't heard anything. As of today, I didn't see any real changes. It is being mowed and stuff, but as far as stuff being removed, I haven't seen.
I drove by, Mary contacted me one day. She said the tenant might possibly contact me, never did. I haven't reached out to him yet, but it's still pretty rough. He tore the top off the garage, but now you can see everything behind it, so. And the walls are still
The
standing.
walls are still standing. Yeah, I saw that.
Is it dangerous for people? Can they get access to it?
I mean, you'll be on private property.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but it just needs cleaned up. It's just bad.
And it's on a main thoroughfare, and it's easily seen, and it's just,
That's bad.
you glance over driving by, you're like, whoa, what's going on there? You know, I mean, it just sticks out.
But you sent a letter to Esledge?
I sent it to the property they have listed, so it'd be their main building over off Broadway.
Okay.
I would think that's probably the best place to work, and that may take, you probably hear something pretty quick on that. That probably takes a little chain of command to get through until they figure out exactly what it is.
And if I don't hear anything, I know the health department has a number for them. And I'll ask them.
Let them go after the runner.
As far as other nuisances, there hasn't been much change. The commission will be having a meeting next Monday for their proposed solar image. And we did hear back from regional planning, so we'll talk about that at the meeting as well. They didn't have much changes, just kind of mostly grammatical things. And then the Board of Zoning Appeals will have a meeting June 3rd, I believe, over where the one guy came in talking about the road that dead ends to the school and vacating it. On that parcel there, he wants to have a goat and some chickens, and it's less than 1 acre, so it has to be conditionally permitted.
Okay.
Is that the one that borders the school property?
There's a little paper road beside it that dead ends to the school, so it's
Okay.
behind it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Is it possible for us to get a copy of the solar language.
Well, the commission has to do their final approval on it before they have their hearing next, whatever day that is, next Monday.
Next Monday.
And as soon as they do that hearing, when they refer it then to us, that's when we'll get a copy.
And then we see it.
Then when we meet again at the next time, if they approve it, we'll be setting our hearing date.
What if we wanted to add to it? I'm not saying I have anything, I'm just saying, what if
We can, when it comes to us, if we want to make a change, then we have that option at that time. And then we set a hearing date.
I hope we never have to
Yeah,
use it
you're
the way this issue's going.
You'll get this choices here.
Did-
To modify it.
Did we have any update or
They
need to
have the
be
preliminary, I just got.
make any moves or actions on 17th Street? The email on the bright light.
I
Go through everything, that
haven't done anything
recommendation. then I'm
towards
gonna
it.
bring
We
to
don't
the
have anything in
trustees.
our book.
Okay.
I can send a letter to Justin,
Okay.
if you want me to.
Did the person complaining ask for a response?
Yeah, he wanted something done. I haven't got back to him because I didn't know what we
Okay.
wanted to do.
All right. So a little follow up on that, and this could be public record, but Justin called and he said that there was bright light on the other side too, and he turned in the other guy, and so he said it was just a matter of time until my bright light was turned in. So there are no light war.
We're back on 7.
Yeah. So he said he'll gladly turn his light closer toward the ground if it's a problem. So he was good about it, but I didn't know if we needed any action. on that. Okay, good. Thank you.
Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention. Mary's helping me with it. I got a call from Deputy Newman today about an address out on 30, just past Sam Crable as you're heading toward Robertsville, on the
Okay.
right-hand side, if you're going east. That's, Brian got some calls here too, I know he has, about somebody dumping a bunch of tires there at that resident. I gave her the address. Chris is looking into it too, but he was wanting to see if she could look into it because he doesn't really want to pursue it yet because he doesn't know if it was illegal dumping. If it's illegal dumping, he can try to go after people and, you know what I'm saying? So he gave me the address. He asked me if Mary could try to just look into it to see about people.
Okay.
We can find anything about who's living there and whether they let somebody dump them or that was the residents back here during the winter when the guy almost hit himself in by carbon monoxide. The fire department went out there. They had a little generator running in the basement with a pipe and the fumes out the window, basement window, but it fell off or whatever. He almost died from the animals. That's the place right there. There's about, Chris said there's about 50 some, 60 tires
Oh, wow.
Well,
piled up there. And he
if they're
said
not on
there
the
wasn't
rim-
that many. They dumped some there and now there's more there.
Yeah, are they on the rim?
No, I don't
Then turn
think
it
so.
into
Most,
health
there could be some rims on some. I don't know. I didn't go look at it. I should just stop out and look at it, take some pictures.
Yeah, if they don't have a rim on them, the health department will take it.
Well, I
because
know
that's
that, and
a-
and Chris knows that. He knows after so many tires, the health department can get involved. They come out and usually clean that up, like we've had when we had some of those big dumpings here in our township.
Sometimes people are taking tires just to get the money.
Oh, I know they are. That's how it always is. And we've been dealing with that. We've been taking tires into Canton Township and picking up a lot of furniture and stuff, throw it out everywhere. People have been doing their spring cleaning. So I just want to let you guys know that since he had called and was looking into it, so.
Okay.
Alright, now I got no old business, new business, approval of $200 to American Legion Memorial Day.
Trustee Varian moves to approve $200 to be paid to the American Legion for Memorial Day.
Trustee Griffith seconds.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye,
Can I ask one more thing before we go?
yep.
We talked about last time trying to get some quotes for putting up that sign for over on Broadway for the park. Did we get anywhere with that? Okay, because
You're thinking of putting a sign, like the permanent sign or like a sign coming?
just a sign coming.
I think, because it makes me nervous if we put like an actual, just a park sign and people will be trying to pull in.
Right, no,
Coming
coming
soon or something.
soon.
Yeah.
Even if we just did it on a piece of plywood and put it up. it
Well,
would-
I've seen some pretty good feedback on Facebook. There's a lot of people that are excited about being able to walk there.
Yeah. But even if we just got a piece of plywood up with it on it or something, we need to do something. Because the bank's been waiting a long time.
All right, or road crew can get their artistic ability. Just spell it right.
We talked about the meeting for Mapleton,
Yep.
so we can jump to that one.
That's all I got.
I'm done too.
I just want to mention the festival, East Canton Rotary Community Festival. What's the dates, Mary? 7th and 8th,
Happened.
June 7, 8?
I think. Is that Friday, Saturday? Okay.
Yeah, that's Friday, Saturday.
That's it, it's June 7th and 8th.
Yep.
And then
This is East Canton Festival, okay.
I believe Mary has flyers for it, but if you're looking to do a sponsorship, I think that's closing soon.
Okay.
So she has some flyers for the
7th and
festival.
8th.
7th and 8th.
Yep.
So, why don't you pass some of them out, Mary, so they can all have one. And
7th and 8th.
and could we remember, Cliff, you reminded the fire department about that too?
Yeah. Yeah,
I reminded her a while ago, but it's been a while.
I will call her, I'll text her tomorrow. Yes.
And actually, take some of those to her. That'll help her remember some of them flyers.
Okay. Okay.
Did you get the sponsorship one or not?
And
It might be up.
Okay.
what do you want this sign to say down there for that park?
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
Seacoast
Su-
Park.
Suco's Family Park.
You're gonna try to get too much on it. Just make it
Coming soon, Seacoast Park.
Seacoast Park.
Put
Yeah, coming
Osnaburg.
soon.
That's fine. Just put Suco's Park. And then I emailed you guys sponsors forms if you want.
Yes, I got that. Trustee Barry moves to adjourn and pay bills.
Griffith seconds.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay. Pretty good. Pretty good. I can see Stu out there now with his chalkboard, hands on chalky. Coming.
I just painted white and put black letters on it.
Oh.